So, dear team, hello. We just finished a live stream and had a good trading session. Most importantly, I tried to share my secrets, tips, and advice. I think this was very useful for you. I do these streams every day from Monday to Friday, except on weekends, when these regular currency pairs are available. Because with regular currency pairs, we can check the quotes. For example, if the chart goes up, we can verify this using global quotes. Now, let me have a short, brief trading session. For those who didn't make it, for example, during the live stream, I'll show how we work, what we use, and share some tips for our team. Look, I've chosen the asset, the currency pair Australian dollar/Swiss franc. Click on Start, Australian dollar/Swiss franc, time frame M1. I'm waiting for a response from the bot. This is the first step, you need the bot. We ask where the chart will go, either up or down. Once we've asked this step and understand what the bot recommends, let's see the currency pair has opened now. Look, the bot is recommending the future to us. The chart movement is upward. This is the first forecast for an increase. The second forecast is 52%, also upward for an increase. So the bot recommends entering for an increase, gives a signal upward, indicating that we are about to see growth. And I open a forecast upward. But before opening this forecast, I already understood in my mind that it was actually worth opening for a decrease here. Why is that? Let's analyze what we see here. We see these pauses. A pause in the chart. From these we can identify a support level. There it is. Based on these same pauses, only higher, we can identify a resistance level. We have that as well. We have an upward trend channel. In the upward trend channel, the level from which a pullback will occur is higher. So from the point where we opened the forecast to the level where, in theory, a pullback should happen, as it did, for example, right here, there is still some room. It can still go up. That is, I understand that from here to this point, it can still go up. That's the first thing. Second, for example, if you analyze it differently, we have with you, right here, there was a strong downward movement. In this strong movement, there is a beginning, an end, and a middle. This is called an imbalance. Let me give you another example. Here is a strong movement. Beginning, end, almost the middle. Here it is. A downward movement, a correction, another downward movement. In 90% of cases, this works. That is, from the middle. We get a pullback. Here it's the same. We had a strong movement, then a downward correction, and there was a pullback. The first touch, 90% of the time, there's a pullback, but the next touch, in most cases, it goes further. We have a level breakout, and the chart moves to the level from which this strong movement started. So here is this level, here is the second explanation, at least up to this level. From this point to this point, we can move upward. But here we have a correction. 1 minute left. Let's keep monitoring it. This happens too. If this happens now, I will use a safety net. I will show you how, over the long term, we end up in profit. I have a special system that helps. Even if there are such force majeure situations, because of news, the chart moves in the opposite direction or you missed something. What should you do in such cases? Be careful, and in such situations, how can you even make money from this? The third explanation is, we have level 1, touch 2, touch 3, touch 4. We expect a breakout because the rule of 3 touches works very well for us. If there is any level and the chart hits it at least 3 times, then on the 4th touch, a breakout occurs. For example, here's the first test, second test, third test, and on the 4th touch, there's a breakout. So what do we have here now? 3 seconds left, I take a loss. And look, I took a loss, and instead of using 2, I used 2.5, like this. And I open a trade upwards. On this same currency pair, everything is the same. In general, I try to change the currency pair, but here I am sure, more than sure, that there should be growth. It's just this correction that's happening. Well, that happens sometimes. Sometimes things like this occur. It's like a misfire. Everything we predicted, we did correctly. And according to our forecast, there should be growth. In general, I recommend changing currency pairs. That is, the next $250 trade should have been opened not on this currency pair, but on another one. Because if we got a loss on this currency pair, it means it's volatile. It means that the news that came out is affecting this currency pair. And the chart is following our analysis, roughly speaking, but now it should start moving upward. But it won't go up immediately. There will be a correction first, and only then will it go up. That's something that can happen. And I recommend changing the currency pair, but now as an exception. I just got really curious, so as an exception, we opened an upward trade on the same currency pair. And look, I'm using a trade amount of $250. With net profit, we'll get about $217 from this trade. And from those $217, we'll subtract the $100 that didn't work out, and we'll still end up in profit. So now let's see, if the chart goes up here, we'll be able to see the net profit. Let's check now. Here it is, yes, $217. So we'll earn $217 on this currency pair, subtract the $100 that didn't work out in the first trade, and still come out ahead. This is what my trading system is all about. For everyone who's new and wants to trade and work here, I recommend starting with a demo account. Don't risk real money right away. You need to develop the skill to set up support and resistance levels and monitor the bot. That's my recommendation for you. Here, the price started to rise as it should have, but because there was news, a slight correction occurred. There was a lot of news, and it was very significant, especially concerning the dollar. The dollar affects all currency pairs. In other words, growth should have happened a long time ago, but a correction occurred, and after that correction, the growth followed. There are 36 seconds left, and I'm going to leave this currency pair now because it's showing volatility. And you see how in the end it's very clever and smart. What we're doing here is, first of all, we think for ourselves, will there be growth here or not? That's up to us. Secondly, we double check ourselves with the bot. You can first analyze things on your own and then ask the bot, or do it the other way around like I do. Ask the bot first, then I ask myself. I look at it, here's a nice solid growth. I make a net profit of $217 here, but the net is $117. I worked through this currency pair, made my profit, and move on. Now the next currency pair is the Canadian dollar and Japanese yen. At first I ask, you can do it the other way around. At first I ask the bot for a signal. Sorry, it's already late in the evening. First we ask the bot gives us a signal. Here you can see the upward movement, and only then does it go down. And here is the signal to go down. So here you can wait for the growth to start. And then we open the position to go down. Basically, I support this approach. We wait for the growth to start and then enter for a downward move, growth up to this level. If there is a touch of this level, let's mark it in blue, we'll immediately open a position to go down. You shouldn't open a position here because the bot tells us there will be a correction and then it will go down. Let's wait a bit for this correction. If we look here using graphical analysis, there was an uptrend. Then the chart breaks through the support level. And now we have this strong movement. Again, it's an imbalance. First the end, then the middle. If there is a touch of the middle, we'll open a position to go down. That would be ideal. If the chart doesn't touch the middle and immediately drops down, and here was that correction, a red candle, then it's no big deal. I just switch to another currency pair, or even another one. There's no point in sticking to the same currency pair. Next currency pair, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, time frame M1. I requested this asset from the bot, added it, and here it is displayed. Right here, I would urgently open a position downwards on the breakout of this green level. I'll explain why, but we need to wait for confirmation from the bot. And here, the bot also gives me an urgent confirmation to go down. You see, the perfect entry point was right here, where we first requested this currency pair. Why down here? I have a zone, this one right here. The chart tests it once, twice, 3 times. On the 4th touch, it's usually not a pullback. It's usually a breakout. Just like that. So let's keep following the same approach. Here is the zone. Tested once, tested twice, tested 3 times. Here it even breaks through on the 5th touch. And that's how we work. We saw the forecast. We go to the currency pair and check if it's actually possible to enter or not. Here the signal is down, red, for a decrease. Here the signal is down for a decrease. 2 indicators from the bot give a forecast that it should go down. And then we went to the broker, to this currency pair, and saw that yes, it really should go down. Go for a decrease here. Or you can display it a little differently. Stop. Here it is, the descending trend channel. I'm cloning these lines. So I place here as well 1, 2, 3, and the 4th touch should, in theory, be a breakout, either of the horizontal or the trend level. Let's accompany it like this and see how the forecast closes. There's 1 minute 30 seconds left. This is how we work. There will be a free link to it in the description of this video, so use it if you want. Plus, I'll wrap up because during the live stream, I made $450 profit, and if I make about $200 now, that'll be my result. There's no need to be greedy. $600 for the evening is good, and earlier today I made about $900. I set a daily goal of $1,000, $1,300, or $1,500. I used to set it at $2,000, but I realized it's tough in this kind of market. Anyway, sorry for using that filler word. All in all, I recommend not taking unnecessary risks. It's better to have a small profit, like $1,000 or $1,500, and trade calmly without stress rather than aiming for a bigger goal. If you set a bigger goal, you might not be able to reach it, or if you do, you'll get really exhausted. 29 seconds left, the breakout happened. Now it's retesting the level. But now, from the other side, at first the chart was hitting the lower level. Now it's going to hit the upper one. 15 seconds left. That's my trading strategy. That's my trading system. I'm talking about the 2 and 5 here. At first, I recommend trading and learning on a demo account, and only then applying your skills and knowledge on a real account. We take the profit. Great. That's it. Time to rest and go to bed. Take care of yourselves and only trade for profit. This was Abe with you. Feel free to write with any questions. I'm always happy to help and give advice. Goodbye, everyone.